Hello, hello, greetings. Hope everyone is having a lovely evening today. And hello, I'm Sugi Yamagawa, and today we're going to be building a DIY CRT stand. This is going to be for a friend of mine, and it's going. So let's just talk a little bit first about the build, a little bit about the materials we're going to use, and then we'll start making some sawdust. Okay, so as you can see here, I have a really rough sketch of what we're going to do. But wait, where's a pointer? Do I have a pen? Why don't I have a pen on me? I got a pencil, just as good. So this stand, we're going to use it entirely out of scrap materials. So it's going to definitely have a very DIY vibe to it. We're going to be, for the top shelf, we're going to use a piece of 3/4 plywood. The one below that, we're going to actually be using 2 pieces of 3/4 plywood. And then for the bottom part of the shelf, well, the bottom shelf of the stand, we're going to actually use some slat wood for that. We're just going to literally just take, like, I think they're 3/4 boards, pine boards, and we're basically going to have just a whole, that's kind of what, like, this little diagram here is, just to kind of help, like, envision it a little bit. And then we're going to have some 2x4s also. So right over here is the list of the 2x4 parts we're going to be using for this build. So we're going to use 2 2x4s that are 17 inches, 2 that are going to be 21 inches. We're going to use 2 that are 25 inches, and then we're going to use 4 that are 34. And actually, those might get pared down a little bit because we want the overall height of the stand to be 34 inches. And it's going to be, and as far as the width dimension is going to be 22. Well, probably length. Length dimension is going to be 22, and then we're going to be like 28 inches across. So that's, and we have an absolute incredible amount of 2x4s here today for this build. I have a scary amount of 2x4s on the desk, the workstation for this build. So that's a little bit of the introduction. We're going to be, most of this is going to be joined using screws. A couple of the 2x4s are going to be joined together using pocket hole screws. And this should make for a pretty good CRT stand. So, and also, like, talking about sort of like the vision for the project, even though this is just a box with some lines on it. So we're going to have one shelf be 8 inches below the top shelf. The reason for that is most game cases, DVD cases, those are 7.5 inches tall. So we want something that has enough, like, height to be able to, like, slide and stack those in, and also just be a good place for consoles for this thing. And then I wanted to go with, like, a bigger area, which, how much is that? So the lower shelf is gonna have like 22 inches of height. So the friend I'm building this for, he doesn't exactly have like a lot of storage, so I wanna incorporate some sort of like bulk storage item for him. So this area is just going to be for like general storage space for whatever stuff he has. And then we're going to have a shelf up here that's going to be for game consoles, games, all that fun stuff. And then we're going to have a top shelf for the CRT. So actually, let's go ahead and showcase. But yeah, this is the scale of the project we're working on today. So this is going to be our first piece of plywood we're going to work with. I have marked this edge and the edge that is 90 degrees to this one, These are what's called factory edges. These are the edges of the original piece of plywood. Actually, how big is this piece of plywood? Because currently this piece of plywood stands at like 30 inches across, and I think, and yeah, 3 feet. So 30 by 3 feet. And we're gonna cut this down. We're gonna cut it down to the 20 by 28 dimensions for the top of the CRT stand. And then we're gonna probably use one of the offcuts from this and then another offcut from another project. And those are gonna be the other boards for the second shelf. And then with that, our plywood cutting will be done. Well, sheet good cutting will be. So that's where we're gonna start off first, is start getting all this material cut down to size, and possibly actually you can. I'm actually got my big carpenter square out, and then I realized table saw has like measure a ruler on it, and I can just use that. Just gonna make my life a lot easier. And I like making my life easier, because life's hard enough as is. So let's see. So we determined this was our 30. Oh, I gotta think for a moment about which end I'm gonna. Because I've got it. Yeah, 30 inches by 3 feet makes this very square. Hard for me to just have like an easy decision on how. So some of this stuff is actually going to get moved off to the side. We can actually get a little bit better look at table saw coon here. And I've got 2x4s to move, and hopefully I can move those over, push 2x4s out of the way. So this is the ruler right over here that I was talking about. So I think for the first cut, we're gonna do the 28-inch cut. And for that, I gotta move the fence back. Okay. Creepers. I might have to take 2x4s off. Yes, I have to take 2x4s off the bench. There's too many 2x4s here. Some of you can just slit here. Granted, also one of the next projects after this is going to be a shop cart, because I definitely need more room to just set stuff on. So let's see. That is our inches. Lock things in position. And we'll flip support. And we'll grab push stick. Always use your push sticks. And always use your blade guards. Blade guards are important. So we're mostly set up for the first cut. Gotta raise the table saw blade. Just gotta raise it up a bit. Granted, that is one downside to the blade guard is I can't tell. It's a little bit harder to tell whether or not I've got enough of the blade up in order to make my cut. So yeah, we're ready to make some table saw noise. So actually, first things first, safety glasses. Safety is important. And now we're gonna make power tool noises. Assuming I've got I have to move the table saw because there's other things. And that's a 2x4 hit in the ground. Because I've got things on that are in the way of me infeeding this. And then, just because I want to give you guys that view. Okay. Good enough. Oh, come on. Come on, Table Saw-kun. Go for a walk. How will that be? That will do it. Kind of. That's good and supported. That edge looks really straight against the fence. Oh, let's make some power tool noises. Oh, whoops! Got too excited. I haven't turned also yet. Always a good safety practice to unpowered when you're like adjusting and playing with. But now we can make some noise. Okay, that's all the way through. Oh yeah, that's what was happening. Cool, cool, cool. Oh. Oh. That's what I was trying to avoid. That's what I was trying to avoid. Oh gosh. Actually, we'll hold that there. Here's our thin offcut that we no longer care about. Okay. Let's see, we've got a 28-inch cut. That looks like a 28-inch cut right there. So, got one side at 28 inches. Now where's that locket? There we go. Now I can actually bring it in for that. And since this is a 22-inch cut, I can kind of bring it in a little bit. So. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Have some fun. Oh. Did it? Okay. I really should invest in one of those outfeed tables one of these days, which is going to be another feature of the shop cart project when that gets built. So, we're gonna see if we got 22 inches. Hey now. 22 inches. Wait, is this the whole? Because this looks a little big for. I clearly was not thinking when I decided what ends to cut, so... We're now 22 inches this way, but I should have cut this down more. So... Well, that's gonna affect things a little bit, but... Granted, I guess that's just why they say... Measure twice, cut once, and... But oh, so we're gonna need... Reset this for... Wait, for 28 inches again. Because I guess I wasn't... Because I knew there was going to have to be like a bit of an order to my operations. That's that. Cool. We now got this edge 22 inches. And then I was like holding this and I was like, man, this thing's like for like 28 by 22. And I'm like, measuring tape? This is 3 feet long, right? Measuring tape says, yes, Sugi, that is 3 feet long. Yay! Okay. Hopefully this will be the final cut for our big piece. Actually, I need to turn the big piece around. So that way, our, hey now, the factory edge, the best edge is up against the fence. That's... Wowzers! Okay. Now this is starting to look more like our panel. But is it though? Okay, cool. So that's going to be 28 by 22. Woohoo! Cool. So the first panel of the CRT is done. Our first piece. Which is the most bulky one. So I've got a couple of off scraps. So today's trick is going to be to make a full 22 by 28 panel out of these. So I want to start with this one. It's 22 inches across, so it's the depth we want. But it's 8 1/4, so can work. This is the next piece I have is 13 inches across by 30. So cut 2 inches off. This will be a really good piece to use. I'm not sure if I'm going to be using this piece or not, so... They're kind of big, awkward material. It's also kind of greeny. Ow. Did you get me a splinter? Damn you. Okay. This is going to be 18 inches. I got 18 inches here, and I've got 13. So this lower one this one I've got 13 inches on. This is going to be a real easy one to work with. I should be able to get like a good piece out of this. This one though, I'm going to have to cut down a bit more. So it's... I'm gonna want... What's the length? What was... You're 30 inches. So I just need to take 2 inches off to get 28. Yay, math! Let's see, how straight's that edge? Not liking this edge. We'll flip it around. See what the fence says. Fence likes this one more, so this is how we're gonna feed it. Let me grab the handy dandy push stick and we'll get this cut down. And get us a little off. Nice little scrap piece there. Add it to the scrap piece pile. That's slowly gonna form somewhere over in that general vicinity. Cool. So this piece is now 28 by 13 1/4. So this is gonna be one of our two pieces for shelves. So let's see here. So this is going to be the second shelf piece. I've got 13 inches on it. A hair bit more, but it's fine. Let's see. So I'm going to need... So to make up to 22, I'm going to need 9 inches. 9 inches. Wait. Are you 9 inches? Are you 9 inches of board? Ah, it's 8! Damn it. I can't work with that. Okay, so I'm gonna set you off to the side. You're a project piece, you're gonna set... I've got this big board. Now I gotta cut a 9-inch by 28. So, the 9-inch dimension is definitely going to be like this one, and this is going to be like the 28 dimension. So it's 3 feet across. So I think what I'll do is I'll go ahead and feed it through roughly like how you're looking at it right now. I'll get this down to 28 inches, and then I'll just rip it down to 8, and then... Not 8, but 9. Yeah, because we want 9. 9 plus 13 equals 22. Okay, so. Well. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Actually, let's show this a little bit. So, when I'm checking these edges, I'm pretty much holding the edge up against the fence here as a reference to just see how good of a edge this is to reference against my fence. So that one's kind of alright, but this other one looks better to me. Which, it's same category, I guess, but... That side... We'll get you back into the action spot. There it is. Okay, let's have some fun. So first we're going to cut this down to 30 inches. Fence. Pull that out. And here's the next scrap piece. Today's build. Ah, wonderful ASMR right there, isn't it? Okay, so we've got ourselves, should be 28 inches. Hot diggity dog, we got 28 inches from here down to here. This is going to be 28. So we now need to cut out a 9-inch piece out of this. So I'm going to pick up the board, put it over here, unlock the front, my guide, and then bring it down. Actually, so this is going to be a 9-inch cut. I actually have to move this. But this is like one of the real nice features of the DeWalt table saw that I'm using. Back those out a little bit. Lock that side in, lock this side in, bang. Is the ability to like move this fence out, because this is a contractor grade saw. This isn't a cabinet saw. Ideally, you would be using a cabinet saw for this, and also you would ideally be having some form of outfeed support as your board's going like back off the table saw, something to catch it. One of my big plans for the shop cart build is to build it in such a way to where we'll hopefully have a little bit of that function, but I also have to think about that in regards to the dust collection, that black hose you see down there, that one. So we got that, but it is a real nice like table saw, especially for like a home hobbyist shop. It's not the greatest in table saws, but for my needs, this is like more than enough, especially in a shop as small as mine. So, sorry about that aside about me gushing about my table saw, and damn it, gotta take that lip out. There we go, and bring it in. So I'm 9 inches. Okay, that's gonna be 9 inches. Grab the push stick and have some fun. Oh, scrap piece. Nice knowing you. Then this piece. How do you measure up? That out of the way. And bring this a little bit in, and so ideally we want it to be 9 inches. Hell yeah. By actually that followed up by jungle. Straight. Ah. Oh yeah, that's 28. Okay, cool. But hey, with that, we're pretty much like done like milling up sheet goods, which is real nice. Granted, there's a little bit more to do. Okay, so going back to that little bit more we need to do. Let's just hold this up a little bit. So we're gonna have the 2x4s are just gonna sit on top of that top piece, that first top piece we made. So for the second shelf, we're actually gonna have to make some like little like cutouts for the 2x4s. Well, the main 4 2x4 legs. So that's gonna be like the next thing we're gonna do. So I need to grab our other scrap piece, and then I need to grab, what else? I need to grab that and a piece of scrap 2x4. So, one moment. piece. Ooh. So, one thing I want to look at is how I want these pieces to be displayed. So, like, if we see this board here, see how it only has like that one knot in it? This one knot here. Then if we flip it over, oh my gosh, look at that! It's naughty! So, we definitely want like this side to be our top side. And then I think for... Actually... Ooh, I don't like that gap, actually. How's this other side look? We need to close that gap up a little. It should be fine. It's like... Okay. So both paired up. What was it? It wasn't like... It was over 22. Yeah, 22.25. Okay. So. Now I got my pieces like this. In order to make my notches, I'm going to use a scrap piece of 2x4. So for the back legs, so I think in terms of the build, this side, this lower shelf, since it's like wider and bigger, this is going to be the one closer to like the front of the stand, and then we're going to have the smaller one be closer to the back. So in order to make these like cutouts, I'm going to take scrap 2x4 and I'm going to place it on that corner, and then I'm going to mark where I'm going to notch it, and then eventually we're going to set it up on the table saw to... We're going to preliminary... words. We're going to just kind of cut a little bit of that piece out. So I'm going to go ahead and take my scrap piece and I go ahead and that. Okay. So I kind of redid my mark here because I want to, because this dimension is a little bit over by a little bit more than 1/4 of an inch. I'm going to just bump it forward a little bit. So I'm now moving to what is going to be the front. And mark. And mark. Okay, cool. So we got all 4 corners marked. And then set the table saw up to make these notches. And I'm gonna take the blade guard off. So, there's the riving knife, but that you're gonna play with, if you're gonna be like playing with stuff with like there, disconnect power. Keep your fingers. That comes out. You live down there. Grab the riving knife. Actually, I'm gonna bring the blade all the way up, because taking the blade guard out was fine, easy even, but for putting the riving knife in, I need to give good Good tug. Not going anywhere. Then we're going to bring the blade back down, and actually, with the blade guard off, we can accurately measure where we want our blade to be. So whenever you're cutting material, especially if you're not using the blade guard, you always want just the tip of your blade to be coming up above your work. So yeah, that's gonna be great. Cool. So that's set up, that's dialed in. Gonna apply power. And we're now gonna work here and bring the fence in. So we're gonna make 4 notches. Each notch is gonna have 2 sides, so we're gonna have 8 cuts to make. See my little like handy dandy rule. So let's start with first. Lock that in. Okay, cool. Move one work piece over here, off to the side. Work piece. Oh yeah, because it's supposed to be like. Okay, yeah, this is gonna be fun. Hey. And that threw a lot more blade dust, sawdust just now, like than earlier. Set up for a 1/2 inch. Then we'll get these notches notched out. Secure. Fun. I got a little scary there, so I went ahead and turned it off. Okay. Woo! Oh man. So I'll go ahead and move the fence out just to give myself a little bit of a workspace here. Oh, wait. Let's hit this thing. Do. Bada bang. Cool. So, some of you might be wondering why I only like pre-cut. Well, I only partially made my cuts. A big reason for that is because, especially when I'm cutting on this side of the fence and I have a loose piece here, you really don't want your offcut to be here. You want your offcut to be over here. So I just use the table saw to like pre-make the cuts. So I'm gonna go grab a pool saw, and then I'm gonna use the pool saw to finish off these cuts and get these like corners notched out. Gosh, I'm gonna just like hearing people not use their blade guard, and it's like, man, blade guard's good, like great for dust collection. Like making those small cuts with just the riving knife out was just terrible. So actually, wait. I want to have a full workspace here, so I'm gonna drop table saw blade. There you go. Go back to where you can't get hurt. Cool. So we're gonna the right size, yeah. Right side. Woo! Okay. Wait. What? I didn't even get to cut anything. But hey. And there's a bit of a... Got a bit of a stub. You can see there. Oh. Hear that. Done. Yay! So that piece is now not. This piece is now notched out. That will go live in our completed parts area. Oh, actually, bring it in a little bit. Yeah. Do this. Yay! And our last notch. Ah! Oh, I also gotta cut it this other way. This will get cut. Boom! Notched. Notched. So that's gonna be those pieces done. Figured it's fine. I think this is gonna be the only time I'm gonna need this for this build, but I don't know for sure, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put the blade guard on it, set it off to the side, keep it in a safe spot. Over there. Okay. Whew. Actually, okay, I just looked at my water bottle and I'm pretty sure most of that was from the riving knife cuts. Whereas like the big cuts we were making, like dimensioning the sheet goods with the blade guard. And the blade guard is just wonderful for dust collection. And if there's any concern about the dust environment I'm in, I at least have a standalone air purifier that's currently running right now. So we now have completed the sheet goods for the project. So the next step in what we're going to accomplish today is going to be making this list of 2x4s. So we're going to also be doing that here at the table saw. And I guess we should just go ahead and start cutting up the 34 inchers. So these are going to be the ones that are going to be our legs. A cup, yeah. So we got some staples here. I can pull those out later, but really don't want to make sure I don't hit those with the blade of it, because nothing dulls a good blade like metal, like hitting metal. Metal's ruinous for a table saw blade. So for this, I want 34 inches, which is here. 34 inch mark. So once I got my mark, tape measure goes away, and then I'll grab this speed square and boom, make a mark. It's gonna be one done. So one thing you can do when you're like building projects like this is once you get one board with your mark, you can go ahead, cut it, and then you can use that as a reference piece for the rest of your pieces that you're going to make. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to because I kind of want to like batch this stuff out at the table saw. I want to get everything marked up beforehand, and then I'll just like start sending boards through. But I'm also trying to like look at like this. This looks dirty, but is it just? And it's just like little bits of stuff. Like there's also like kind of gashed out bits side. But good news is with the less perfect. Ooh, this one is just barely 34. We wanna, you know what? It's got that pretty hideous edge. We'll set you to the side. I'm gonna set that 2x4 to the side. We'll grab a new one. Here's a new 2x4. Definitely in a little bit better condition than that one. And our length is also just barely, but you're also a nicer looking 2x4. I'm gonna just make my mark, boop, and speed square. And okay, that one's marked up. Still, oh. Ooh, we got, so on this one, we have a pretty big split here. It's really not end of the world because it doesn't go all the way through the board. But I'm gonna make the split end the offcut side. So we'll try not to hit my mic with a 2x4 and take a measurement and see how long this 2x4 is. This is definitely one of my longer ones that I lined up for this project. Yeah, it's 41 inches long. So grab that, grab mark and make device. Wait. I should be cutting these down a bit more than that, actually. Yeah, I need to actually I don't need to be marking these 34 inches tall because we're going to do 33 and a half. Means I also got to remark the other two from earlier, but that's fine. That's fine. So that one's That one's marked, and then we gotta remark this one, and we gotta remark these two here. So, because I need to account for like the height of the plywood in the build, so I'm gonna drop all these a 1/2 inch. So that way the final project can get close. Closer to our magic 34 inches tall. Because you don't want the, well, I don't want the stand to be too tall, because otherwise it's gonna just take up way too much room. Well, it'll also be like more unstable. CRTs are heavy. But little X's on offcut sides. So 1, 2, 3, and then our final 33, and actually you're that one from earlier. You're that one from earlier. So, that at 33. 33.5 inches. And marked. Okay, so that's 34 inches marked out. Okay. That's really half by 4 material. I do want to. So, actually, let me take a quick count of how many 2x4s I got left laying around. Because I've got 3 on the workbench. I've got 1 on the floor. Oh wait, and I got like 4 over here. So, oh yeah, that's plenty. That's plenty. Okay, so actually, let's just go ahead and just keep measuring, marking up 2x4s. So. Next, we're going to want our 25 inch. Granted, these are all going to be 25 inch. So, yeah, this one's like 27 inches. This one's 27 inches, so it's nearly the size we want. So, we'll just go ahead and mark that. And actually, I kind of want to. I'm stacking stuff there. I'm doing stuff here. Let's bring the table saw funks in. I unlock it. There we go. So we'll bring the table saw funks in. And for all this measuring and marking fun, we'll just come back to the bench. We'll come back to the bench. And so it's 25 inch. Which one of you? You've got a bit of a split there. Pass that one up. Let's grab the floor 2x4. Ooh, nice rustic color. Nice rustic color to it. So. And so. 2 inches. So. Bring that. Okay. Then that's going to be that one. So that piece. Okay, so that's the 25 inchers done. Next up is our 21. Ones do I want to use for the 21? Actually, let's grab this earlier. This was the one that had the minor split in it. So we're gonna bring it over here. How long is the 2x4? A little over 25 inches. So in order to get that split out, Cut it off at 21. Boom. Yeah. That's the first of the 21s, and then just, I don't know. Not sure. Look, no, you're fine. You're fine. Definitely seen better days. And go 21 inches. And hey, don't turn on me. Cool. So that's going to be, that's the 21 inches, and now I need 217. Now this is a pretty long board. I wonder if I can get 217 piecers out. 34 inches, just barely. Actually, what I'm going to do is, I'm going to send that 2x4 over there, so I'm glad I actually lined up enough material for this project. And we'll use these for our, these should be good 17 inchers. Yeah. You know what? I've got a tape measure in my hand right now. There we go. And boop, 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 boop. Cool. That, and then this one. Boom. Can't really put much of an X on that. Okay, cool. So, cool. 2x4s are all marked up. I'm going to take a quick sip of water, and then we'll head back to the table saw, and we'll start getting all this stuff cut up. So, go ahead and, so just trying to think about the amount of support I would want for these cuts, because 34 inches are going to be pretty like far, 34 inch boards are going to be pretty like far out of the table saw. So I'm gonna, basically what I'm gonna do, ooh, it's kind of hit, I got that. Okay. Actually, wait a second. I gotta measure a thing real quick. According to my ruler on the table saw, I don't have 34 inches of space, and then puts me in an awkward spot if I don't have my 30. Okay, I don't. So, because this side of the blade is going to be where my offcuts are going to be, so I have to take this off. And then I'm just going to have to let, like, my workpiece there. Goodness gracious, I need more table space. So much table space. Okay, so these, some here, maybe. Actually, semi-safe thing. and set them all. And actually, since we're going to be returning to Table Saw Coon, there's Table Saw Coon. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and make the cuts without a... Actually, scrap block of wood, I choose you. So, just proud of where the 2x4s are gonna be. That. We have power. Okay, let me grab my... So ideally when you're making cuts like this at the table saw, you would ideally have a cross cut sled. I still need to make one of those, which that's going to be another stream. But for today, we're going to support the 2x4s with this miter fence. So. Go. Ooh. Kind of touching there. Well, like out this direction. Okay, well. Gonna start cutting now. Okay. Whew. That was not good. That's also what they call kickback. Whoa. Oh, my miter gauges. That was not set to 90. Either that or the kickback event actually caused it. Granted, earlier it wasn't sliding good now. So let's see here. Just finish that off. Okay. And we'll just leave that out. And we'll hope that doesn't happen again. I know that's one of the problems with these like longer pieces of wood is they're gonna be more unsupported. Like there's not table out here to support them, so kickback kind of is a bit more likely. And also I should probably invest in a good cross-cut sled one these days. Something's happening. Get all the way through and then finding up. What I'm gonna do here is I'm gonna cut this 2x4 off and I'm gonna test the thing. That's not good. So I'm gonna just do it with kind of the idea of using. Also not good. No, I don't like that idea. Wait a second. Wait a second. I might have... One moment. Played square. It almost looked like it was out square for a moment. I'm actually gonna not do... Considering the fact 2 went weird, putting it nicely, rest of the 34 inches we'll just do with the handsaw. I'm gonna go I think I'll go ahead and grab these 17 inchers because these are gonna be better supported by the miter gauge and the table. Didn't have any issues, but we'll see how this goes. So yeah, that worked out better. That worked out a lot better. Okay, so yeah, that definitely seemed to be the issue, was that the boards weren't being super well supported. So my top piece here is a little bit bigger than my bottom, so I'm gonna just measure it up. Yeah, it's a hair more than 17, so need to take a little bit off that, and then these two parts will be done. Woo! Boom! Even Stevens done. We'll keep moving up. Also, did I really adjust that blade right? Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay, we don't want to use this board, so the issue is this board has a rock to it. We don't want that. Sending boards with a rock through that have that rock to them. And also this isn't a true 2x4 because I did some planar testing on it and I actually didn't notice that when I was marking it. It's gonna live over here. What are you guys again? You're my 21 inchers, right? Yes, you are my 21s. Okay. So I do. So I'll go reach over into my spares. And yeah, this side will be the good side. We'll Gotta love having spare materials when you're doing a project. Otherwise, this would just be like crazy. Well, it would just suck because then it'll be like, damn it, I can't continue the project. I can't continue doing stuff. Okay. So we've got 21 inches. This one's kind of a big boy. Do big boy first. And yeah, keep having fun. Yeah. So much sawdust. Thank goodness for air filters. It's like first time we got a bit slight discrepancy in our sizing. We'll see. Hair bit past 21. So we'll take a hair bit off this board I'm holding. So. Okay. Pretty darn good. Pretty darn good. Cool. Is this just one final set 2x4s to cut up? I'm gonna drink some water now. Okay. Cool. Go. Final set. The offcut. Okay. Let's have some fun. Where's the button? Look down to find the button. Okay. Up, go. And blade stop. So how do these measure up? little unevenness, but I can live with that. For this is, after all, a DIY project first, and a woodworking project second. So we got our 2x4s made up. We've got our sheet goods made up. All we gotta do left, as far as like at the table saw, is we gotta do the slats. So I'm gonna go ahead and drop. Hey, scrap. Yes. Okay. So I'm gonna set a 3/4 piece of scrap behind the blade, and then I'm gonna use that to set my blade height. Should be great. Okay. And you can live on the workbench for a little bit. And let's grab the slat. Okay. Kinda big boards. Do the edge on that. Oh man. Honestly, I'm looking at the amount of sawdust that's on me right now, and the amount that I've generated with this table saw, and I'm thinking we might just do the slats with the pull saw and give the table saw a bit of a rest. Because, yikes! So, slats are going to be 22 inches long. Do one there. Bring it in here for now. Put the blade down on the table saw right quick. Then also miter gauge can go live somewhere else for a little bit. Can go live over there. So. There. That'll be one slat, and then... because I mean, using the table saw is fun, but the amount of sawdust that is egregious. But and this one. Also, ooh. Okay, so I got to looking around. You know what? Let me start finding and counting some parts, because there are those. There's those. Okay, so I missed 2 of the 2x4s for the project. Nope. Because these slat materials, this is 3/4. This will actually cut pretty quickly and easily, especially with the handsaw. But so I'm very comfortable using the handsaw for these boards, but I do like using the table saw for other boards. So we got this piece and then this piece that I missed. So go ahead and go back to table saw Kun and get this stuff and get this knocked out. Very excited to put table saw Kun away and just be like, okay, cool. So get that be done here and breathe. Cool. So that's my offcut. So the slat's getting away. This is going to be fun because we're now getting into boards where the support isn't as good. Like we were having issues with the 34-inchers going through the table saw because of a lack of support. Because you see how it likes to go up like that? That's not good. And these are the 25 inchers, so let's just get this over with and hope for the best. Okay. It's one of you done. And so, how do they stack up? Oh, pretty good, pretty good. Actually, yeah. And the other side, yeah. Are those the remaining of the 34s? Those weren't 25 inches. The 25 inches. Those were 34 inches. Huh. Okay. Now we put table saw coon. Good night, Blade. I don't think I plan to use you for the rest of this project. Considering the amount of dust there's around here right now, I'm really okay with that. So, okay. Now back where we left off. Over here. So, I'm gonna kind of use... Actually, I wonder... Let's see. But kind of want to have a bit of a... Keep it a bit off, like, the table saws. Ah! And I didn't want that to go over that direction, but yeah, we got our first slat done. We're gonna want... Kind of figured... What was my count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're gonna need... We gotta cover 28, and these are 3.5. So 2 slats will do 7 inches. Can I recover that slat with another slat? Hell yeah, I can. Yippee! And so since we got like this really big knot that goes all the way through, we'll make this side of the world the offcut, and we'll use this cleaner portion of the board for the actual flat. So, tape measure. Woo. Then speed square. Yikes! One of those lines is not as straight as the other. Alright. Yay, we didn't cut the curved line. But actually, I want to compare it against the first one we had. See how. I mean, I'm willing to deal with a little bit, which you got a little bit of uneven. I mean, granted, that can be fixed. We'll probably fix it later in the build. Granted, as long as everything is 22 inches long. Fine. So, board. This one also has like a pretty nasty knot in it. So we're gonna work with the more clearer section of the board. So we'll just keep measuring, marking, cutting. And this is, I'm actually getting a lot of use of it. Out of the pull saw. It's actually nice. I just bought it. Exceptionally good for some projects. But it actually really impresses me like how well this thing cuts through wood. So you've got two sides. So this is called a Ryobi saw. And so one of the things about this saw is you have, I think you, yeah, this is the big teeth side. So this is your, is it ripping? Ripping. Yeah, when you're rip cutting, which is when you're going with the grain of the wood. And then it has this finer side for cross cutting when you go, and cross cutting is a lot like how it sounds, is like cutting across the grain of the wood. But yeah, like, especially if you get like really good setup with like the larger teeth, man, like this saw can just eat wood. Like, these saws are really great. So, enough talking about the tools. We've got work to do. I'm gonna just pull it in this way because I don't want to lose it. Yes! Yes, yes, yes! I didn't lose it to the great beyond of over there land. And I do have a bit of a stub to show for those efforts, but that is easily taken care of. And not a problem. So we got our third slat. There's a staple there. Two staples. Well, as long as they aren't in a place where we're wanting to make our line through our wood. So... Bloop. Kind of having something here to hold out a bit. Look what I'll do. Table saw back a little bit, and that gives me a bit more clearance here. I think I'll like that. I love a real nice light quality of light improvement. Okay. Oh. So this wood that's in the center, it's real sappy. And I think that's why I'm having this issue. Granted, it smells amazing though. Actually. Easiest way to do it. I think I don't know. Yay! Oh yeah! Check this out. See that? See how it kind of looks a little like shiny and stuff? Like, that's just like chock full of sap. Oh, smells amazing. But yeah, okay, cool. Actually, I haven't been doing a good job checking myself. Let's check myself. A little bit more than 22 inches. That's fine. We can live with that. So it's piece 4. Let's go to our final piece. And like this piece is actually pretty nice. Like very few knots. Just like one kind of like there. No big deal. So we got 2 more cuts to make. And then we can start preparing parts. Okay, we got Mark. Let's do good old classic. Twice cut once. Oh yeah. Man, I still want to put something. But I don't have anything like good to put over there. Like help brace. So it would be nice to have a bit more clearance over here in this area that we got going. But I don't know. Just gonna have to live with it. There's only like 2 more cuts to make. It's too high. Problem. Save the board, but gotta split. Take that off. Woo! Barely touched me there. Piece 5! Oh. Let's go ahead and work from this end. And mark out our and measure up. Bada banga. 22 inches. What we want. Whoop. Uh-oh. There we go. Okay. Okay, there we go. So that is 1, 2, 3. You don't count. 4, 5, 6 slats. So that is going to be all the project pieces. Well, that's most of the pieces cut up. So people select back to a device that holds things for me. So this. And I'm going to set my fence right back on it because I want to get it off the workstation. For now, in the project, we're going to be moving towards the workstation. Do 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 do. Oh, whoops. Then also a push stick. There. Okay. Well, I mean, honestly, that'll help a lot with, like, stuff. So, we've got all the materials cut up for the project. We are now at the point where we need to start, like, preparing our materials. So, push. So, a little ways over. Whew. And... one moment. Water. So these 6 pieces of 2x4 that we prepared earlier. Let me grab them. The set. These 2x4s are going to be used in various areas of the build. So, the second shelf we're building, since that's just going to be made of 2 pieces of the 3/4 inch plywood, I want to support it pretty well. So we're going to use one 25-inch, actually, yeah, because this diagram is like the most important one. We're going to use one 25-inch towards the front. We're going to use a 21-inch towards the back because of how we're orienting the 2x4s on shelf build, that stuff. And then we're going to use the 17s to run in between. So 17s are going to go here and here under that second sheet. That one. And then we're going to, and for the slats, we're going to use each one of these, one in the front, one in the back. That's what we're going to mount the slats to. So, how we mount these boards to the legs. We're going to use pocket holes. So, what I'm going to do first is I'm going to grab some blue tape, and I'm going to start looking at these boards. So I'm going to start evaluating the boards. Like, how many knots do we got? Do we have like stamped marks, like, which not a terrible thing. Like, how clean does the board look? Granted, this side looks pretty clean. There's some marks of wood glue. It's either wood glue or sap, but and stuff I want to be the side of the 2x4 that I want to be like facing outward, the side that's most likely to be seen. I'm gonna just take a piece of painter's tape and put a piece of painter's tape on it. That's gonna help me orient the board and the build, because the opposite side, this side of the 2x4, we're going to put pocket holes. We're going to probably put 2 on each side, and we're going to use pocket hole screws, and that's what's going to mount it to the legs. So I'm just going to go through my 2x4s. Oh yeah, that's pretty ugly side, especially with all that stuff. So then this is kind of okay looking. So we're going to take the okay looking sides. Sides I don't want to put pocket hole screws in facing outward. Granted, really the only blemish on this board is like this big stamp. This side looks great, so that's going to get some tape. And even though this is like, I mean, a pretty simple and straightforward build, I mean, we got like what, 10 2x4s. We have 3 pieces of sheet good, and then we have 6 pieces of 3/4 boards at 3.5 inches. But it's always good to like mark boards, figure out where you are in a project. That's going to be the nicer side. So we're going to put a piece of painter's tape on that. But yeah, knowing where your boards are in the project and like which faces you want facing out, which faces you want facing in, like the stuff you want to hide, like here, like look at that. That's actually really good. A couple stray knots. Then we look at the other side. We got some staining there, and then we have some like stamp here. That side gets painter's tape. And one of the biggest things in like project making is always figuring out where to orient yourself in a build. So that way you know like, okay, where do I want to stick this piece? Where do I want to like have this piece be? All that fun stuff. So we've got all these boards marked up, which is the important part for now, because for now, get to bust out this thing, the pocket hole jig. So currently I have it set up for 1/2 inch material. This 1/2 inch is what our boards are. And actually, I've got to look at the manual right quick. because I need to know which one of these holes I need to use for this material. So I'm gonna grab the manual. I'm gonna start flipping through it because it's actually pretty early on in the manual. So, like, which holes you wanna? Okay. Okay, so in the manual. So we're working with 2x4s, and we're going to be working with the 2x4s on the 4 side. So we're going to be using holes A and C here. So I got that handy dandy reminder. I mean, I've used pocket holes before on projects, but I haven't like used like a whole lot. Not like the most experience at this. And now where's my drill? There it is. Okay, cool. So, and I've already adjusted my drill bit because you'll just bring it on here, and then you want like the shoulder of an showcase this. So you want your collar to go where the shoulder is marked on like the wood. So we're doing 1.5-inch boards. So this is where we'll set the collar, and the collar is what helps control for the depth. So let's just go ahead and throw a board in. Just want to like line it up relatively even. Clamp holds it in place, and I grab the handy dandy drill. And let's start drilling. Oh. I don't know if the impact doing impact noises is good. Okay. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Well, actually, is that gonna work? Because these are 3/4. So I've got. Let me think here. I don't know. That might actually work, but in case you weren't keeping track at home, the pocket holes were supposed to go on the side that didn't have the tape, and in my blind enthusiasm, I put them on the side with the tape. Oh, board thickness. Side in. Nope. And keep putting some holes in boards. Board bit me a little bit. But yeah, okay, so this time we're gonna do it on the right side Well, the right side we want to like do the thing. I want it better. Ooh, this is better. I'm more okay with it. Wait. Yep, got a splinter. Joys of working with wood. There. And we continue. Okay. That's the first two out of those. Okay, big board coming through. Make sure don't hit any of the streaming equipment. These things I have to... Man, that's at least really tight. Good. Nice little explosion of sawdust there. Oh my gosh, my hands. Filthy, filthy, filthy. Oh, okay. Ooh, that's... Okay. Yeah. That is one more piece done up. I think that's one of the, what, 25 inches? 25 inches. Okay. That tip of the drill bit's actually that's actually a little bit warm right now. Have to be a wee bit careful about that. Okay, do. Woo. Board. Flip it around. Woo. Get that there, and then... Okay, we're moving right along. Okay, let's not point the board at the drill bit at the end of my arm. Especially because it's pretty warm from all the friction. Woo! Really starting to make it like a real nice like pile of sawdust down here. Ooh, that one actually didn't do a lot. But hey, it's a cut hole though. Okay, this is gonna be our final board. Well, the final one that we gotta like pre-cut holes for the pocket holes. So. Ooh. Ooh, okay. So that is our pocket holes made. And our 2x4. So take this. Ooh, look at all that sawdust. Okay. Over there. Okay. 1 second. I'm gonna try and get some of the sawdust off the workbench before we move on to the next part, which is actually a real fun part. We're getting like up to a project assembly. Okay, so ooh. It's probably gonna be warm for a little while. Okay, so I now get to think about how I want to assemble this big thing on stream right now. So I'm currently thinking that we'll use the main top piece, like the big sheet of plywood. We'll do that first, and then actually I got a good idea. Actually, yeah. Okay, cool. I know what I want to do now. So hello, workpiece. So what I'm gonna do, so I'm gonna have, which edge is that? This edge. Have that edge be front, because there's this little nib. Cut the nib off, but what do I want this piece to be? Actually, no, because so we got ourselves here a bit of a split. We definitely want this side to be the underside of the project. I want this to be top side. I'm currently deciding on what side of this I want to be front. I think I'm going to spin it around. And this is going to be like the front side of the stand. So, go back to the drawing that's under the thing. So the front 2x4s are going to be oriented something a bit like this. And I am going to go ahead, I'm going to make light marks. Emphasis on the word light. Light. Because, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to roughly mark out where I want my 2x4s to be on here. And then what I think I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to pre-mark where the 2x4s are going to be on the underside of this. And then I'm going to pre-drill holes. I'll pre-drill 2 holes. And I'll pre-start some screws. And we'll just send the screws into the 2x4s. I don't know how I eventually want to like mount everything. I don't know if I'm going to like pick the project up, set it there. Well, I actually don't know how. I don't know how I'm going to do like final assembly just yet, especially asking how to get the like best active spots. I have no idea, but right now I do have a plan. It's going to be the front, this is the back, so the back 2x4 this. This one's gonna go a little something like this. Okay. So I've got these, and we got these. So I think for the screws I'm going to be using, I'm going to be using 2-inch screws for, and actually, here's my egregiously big box of screws. And these are going to be used for like when the plywood goes into, I think I can actually upsize this by one. Of that. Actually, wait. I grabbed 7/64, not the 1/8. So yeah, I definitely think we should go with the 1/8 here. 8. And this is why you always kind of like size. You always size your bit. Well, not always. I mean, there's like the actual correct size you can use, but really, honestly, what I'll do is I'll just like line them up. And if the threads are just barely visible past the, well, threads visible past the screw, well, past the drill bit, then I know the hole that I drill is gonna be good enough for the shaft of the screw, but there'll still be like enough meat for the threads to have purchase. So go ahead and start drilling some holes. So I'm not going to be particular about where I make these holes. Like, that doesn't really matter a whole lot. All I know is I just want 2. And that's going to be used for the board. That's going to be used for the screws. Mount the 2x4s then. Okay. Flip. And flip again. Okay, cool. So, gonna be those, so drill bit's gonna go out for now. But I'll leave it around because I'm probably gonna re-drill like these slats from earlier. And for now, I'm gonna grab a Phillips head. There we go. Then I'll just like kind of test fit it in the screw to make sure it's like really in there well. Then do no. Just kind of put the screw in there just a little bit. So that way I can kind of have my screws preset. And earlier, I think I just came up with how I want to do this. Sticking out a little bit. Back it out. Yep, okay. So this is actually going to be the back side. Oh, there we go. There we go. And where's the screw at? Cool. Oh. Thinking about doing. Yeah, that's the thought I'm having. So I need to clear my workbench. Nearly everything. My workbench has got the most amount of room for me to put this thing together. There. Gonna all you boards, not to the shallow realm, but to the table saw, where you're just gonna live for a little bit. Actually, wait, that's one of the scrap pieces. That's one of the leftovers. Okay, cool. You go in the pile somewhere. Okay, so I need to get, as reasonably as I can, all the stuff off the table, because I'm gonna need room. I'm gonna need like a lot. So. Okay. And oh my gosh. Okay. So can I? Hey, Master. Let me unlock you. There we go. Cool. So we'll bring this out like that. Okay, there we go. Some 34-inch 2x4s. So what's going to happen is I'm going to take. I actually really gotta get that. One moment. Oh god. I think I finally have enough room now to do what I want. Do the nefarious plan that I'm nefariously planning to do. What I think I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take these 2x4s. And I have them braced against the wall. So they're going to be braced against the wall there. And then I'm going to have this here. And I'm just going to basically roughly line it up. And then I'm going to zip my screws in. And then that's going to be... That's how we're going to do this. Okay. Actually, that didn't pull in. Oh. There we go. How's that look? That's a lot more even. A lot more pulled in. Cool. So we're going to do that for the other side now. Bada banga. Cool. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So. And I'm genuinely excited because I now know how I want to bring this together. So. Where's my 17-inch? Oh, my 17-inch boards. I'm going to figure out roughly how I want them to get my shelf here. And then I'm going to use, actually, I got a tape measure right here. Let's figure it out. So I'm going to want them, I want to have an 8-inch shelf. We'll do 8 1/4. Okay, we'll do 8 1/4. So, what this is going to do, give me my spot to mount these. Then, oh yeah, because that's why. So I'm gonna figure out where I want these. Screw them in like this, and then that's gonna give me. Then I'm gonna have this, and then I'm gonna have the other side done. Well, actually, I won't. But if I get just these done, I will have supports that. Are you my 234 inch moment? So, oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. Sorry, I can't show you everything right now that's going on through my mad lad head, but yeah, I went from having no idea how I wanted to bring this build together to I know exactly what I'm going to do. And that is always the best feeling in the world. Whoa. Uh-oh. Well. So I did not pre-test these holes and I set. So what just happened just now is I zipped my screw in. And it's not long enough for my pocket hole screw is not long enough for the pocket hole I make. So option one is I just live with the pocket holes I have and use longer screws. Actually, you know what? And honestly, I should have tested this with a scrap. I should have put a scrap piece of lumber. Yeah, that's why the pocket hole thing is like long. Actually, wait a second. What we can do? So this is not nowhere as long, but I do want to see how far I can drive 3-inch screw into this pocket hole. This can work. I'll work with it. I'll run with it. Oh yeah, we're cooking. This is a really jank and improvised solution, but it is going to get the build done. And that is all that matters to me. I'm just gonna... Oh, wait. Oh. Let's just hope we don't get any, like, weird split out or anything. Get everything lined up. Oh, I got that it's in there. It's pretty good, but I just want to double check this measurement because once I commit, you know? So, yep, 8 1/4, cool. So, we'll commit to the other screw. Let's see, how firm is that? That's reasonably. So, what's going on right now is the reason we got a little bit more wiggle than I was intending is because the longer screws aren't setting as deeply into the holes. They're not gripping as much wood on this piece. Like they're actually should be a fair amount of screw in there. Granted, I feel like once we get everything like done up, we'll be golden. So I'm gonna go ahead and actually do I want to do this while I'm here? No. I don't want to do this while I'm here, because... Actually... No room for putting things in places. Because... This is a pretty big assembling. Kinda. Yep. I want this. There we go. Pull off the blue tape of shame. And let's figure out where we want it at. 8 1/4. We got that. Okay. Okay. Part of me is almost tempted to take all these screws and spill them out into like this area, but I'm like turning the project around and trying to get everything assembled. Back. damn it. It's a little proud on this side, and this is going to be the outer side of the project, so not that. Something like that. Yep. There we go. Seems a little loose. Okay. Actually, yeah. So, I had a screw there. Ran with 2 screws in it. Seems pretty stiff. So, not sure if I want to like zoom out or. Honestly, I'm not really sure how to showcase putting all this finally together, because I'm really tempted to put some these. Yeah. Yeah. Man. Gotta love the part where, okay, I've spent all this effort, I've done all these. I gotta put it all together. Fun, but okay. Time for more creative juices. Juice. So, tip there. Up. Spin it. I really do want to get all the main legs on now. Just for stability purposes. So, we're gonna working like this. Actually, I could do that, but I don't know. Like doing this, so we're gonna go ahead and break down our improvise how we're gonna get screws in pocket holes, and we're gonna go back to our regular 2-inch screws. I'm going to start by zipping them up from the bottom of the cables. Then on it. Yeah! Cool. Cool. Ah, yeah. Okay, I just need to. Never mind. Cool. So, kind of to show a bit more of what's going on. Because we're working over here now. So, next thing we're going to do is get some screws in here. Whew. No. Hell yeah! Oh yeah! That's gonna be reasonably sturdy, so... So we got that done, now we need to get the final leg. Hey, the final leg. Hit webcam too much. And just repeat the same process instead, except to be different. Well, fortunately, I'm gonna have to I gotta get down here. Two by hey. Whew. Cool. So, go ahead, bring it back up, show you what I got. So, got all 4 legs on now. Gonna work on getting pocket holes. And I just need to make sure I double check the height on this. Make sure. Okay. So I'm gonna up a bit. Get the zip screws. That in. Okay. It's gonna be fun, but hey, we're here to have fun today. Up. problem. That's a problem. Because I need that to pull in, but it's not going to pull in. Well, add. I had a plan. Plan wasn't working so. Oh. So we're gonna go something slightly different. So since the 2x4, well, the pocket holes aren't gonna work out here for a toenail. So, what a toenail is, where you will drive a screw in at a like an angle, if you will. So since I want this board to pull this one in, that's what I'm going to do. Started. So hopefully we can get this pulled in. Now that was a bit more force than originally intended, but it's in there now. And do I got my magic? And we got the magic 8 1/4. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead. So that's there. I'll go ahead and use this spot because I can't. That's going to further strengthen that, so. Whew. Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. And how do we want to go forward from here? Next is going to be the 25-inch, or honestly, I was kinda originally, whoa, to finish this build up tonight, but we had a few hiccups. Not too many though, not too many. I'm not really too disappointed about the amount of hiccups we had, but otherwise, yeah, I think I'm gonna want to go ahead and end stream now. Is that full-time work life, man? I mean, I've got my slow life hobbies, but I'm not at the point where I can quite live my fullest and bestest slow life. So I think what I'm gonna go ahead and do, we're gonna end the stream. I'm gonna probably think about some ways I want to do some stuff on this to maybe do it up a little bit better. Right? Like I got a board, because this board's securely attached, but it's a little proud. So I don't know if I want to say like plane it or do something else with it. So we'll probably finish this up tomorrow on stream. Stream will probably start at the same time as it usually does, 6:30 ETS, and yeah. I'm gonna clean up and get ready for the joys of tomorrow. Hope all of you have a wonderful rest of your evening, and see you all in the next one. Okay, bye-bye. Well.